JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, man charged after alleged murder plot. A man who allegedly plotted and attempted to kill a businessman is now facing several charges in relation to the incident which occurred in Tavares Gardens in Kingston on Saturday, January 22. Arrested and charged is 32-year-old Anthony Fisher, a carpenter of Jones Lane in the parish. Fisher has been charged with conspiracy to commit murder, murder with intent, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Reports are that about 10:30, the victim was opening his business place when he was approached by a lone man armed with a firearm who opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times to the upper body. The injured man reportedly ran to avoid further injuries. However, he collapsed along the roadway. He was then taken to a hospital where he was admitted in a serious condition. The police said the car that was used in the attack was tracked and Fisher was found in the vehicle. He was immediately arrested and his cell phone seized and sent to the Communications Forensics and the Cybercrime Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force for analysis, which uncovered confidential material plotting the attack on the victim, the police said. Fisher was charged following a question and answer interview. Just was charged with murder. The police have arrested and charged the man with last year's murder of 50-year-old Orville Squire, otherwise called Indian, of McQueen Street in Kingston. Charged is 20-year-old Tyreek O'Neill Phillips, otherwise called Just Bus, of Adelaide Street in the parish. Phillips has also been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Reports are that about 2:55 p.m., Squire was standing along the roadway when a motorbike with Phillips as the pillion aboard drove up. Phillips allegedly opened gunfire, hitting Squire to the head. The incident happened along Victoria Avenue on Tuesday, December 28, 2021. Squire was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police said Phillips was apprehended on Thursday, February 10, during an operation and placed on an identification parade where he was positively identified as the shooter. He was subsequently charged on Saturday, February 19. His court date is being finalized. PNP stalwart Paul Robertson has died. Former Vice President of the People's National Party PNP, Dr. Paul Robertson, has died. Robertson passed away at the St. Ansby Hospital on Saturday night. His cause of death is not yet known. Shortly after Robertson's passing, PNP President Mark Golding took to social media to express his condolences. I am greatly saddened by the news of the passing of Dr. Paul Robertson, a former General Secretary of the party and a Minister of Government and a patriotic Jamaican. Dr. Paul was a man of great integrity, whose contribution to our party and Jamaica's democracy was immense, Golding shared in a post on Instagram. I am glad we got the opportunity to have a great conversation last month. Condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. May his soul rest in power, he continued. Current PNP General Secretary also expressed his condolences, saying, an outstanding comrade has transitioned. Eternal rest grant to him, O Lord. Rest in power, Dr. Paul Robertson. Robertson entered representational politics in 1993 when he beat Kingsley Sangster by a landslide in the St. Catharines Southeast seat. He is also a former senator who rose to the rank of Vice President of the PNP in 2003. He was also a Deputy General Secretary and a General Secretary of the PNP. Robertson served as Minister of Industry and Investment, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Minister of Development during his political career. Family homeless after house shot up, raised in early morning attack. 6 members of a Westmoreland family are now homeless, and a manhunt launched for a man who is believed to have set the house on fire minutes after he fired several shots on the dwelling. The incident occurred shortly after 2 a.m. yesterday, while the family was asleep inside the board and concrete structure at a section of the Belvedere community called Scotland in Bethel Town. According to reports, in the wee hours of the morning, the family heard gunfire inside their yard, some of the bullets piercing the house. Minutes later, they were forced to run from the dwelling after it was set on fire. All its contents were destroyed. The arsonist also set fire to a Toyota Voxy minivan and a Toyota Corolla motorcar parked inside the yard, completely destroying them. In the community yesterday, Paul Crew, who shared that his daughter, her 2 children, his nephew's girlfriend and their son was inside the house at the time of the incident. The 73-year-old Mason, who resides in a separate house inside the yard, said he was awoken by the gunshots, and minutes later, he heard his daughter calling out to him that they were being fired upon and that the house was on fire. And me build the house with me bare and see my daughter and my nephew. And me shocked for no say this can happen, and them could have easily lose them life, Crew said, still in a state of shock. Me did in a deep sleep when me hear the gunshots them, but after that, when me hear my daughter call out to me and tell me say them a shoot after them, and me have to come rescue them. After the shooting done, we call the fire station and the police, and one fire truck come up and come out the fire. He continued. Me never was not at home at the time, only my daughter, her children, them, me never girlfriend and him son. And me have to save my daughter life. And me tell her enough to come out of the house so the police them come. After that, them escort her away. He said his daughter is now in fear for her life and has relocated as a safety precaution. Superintendent in charge of the Westmoreland Fire Station, Rudolph Seaton, said that one unit from the Savlamore Fire Station responded to the call. On arrival, one board dwelling and all its contents were completely destroyed, along with a Toyota Voxy valued at $2.5 million, Seaton stated. We cannot say for sure it's a case of arson, but I can safely say it is a suspected case of arson, he said, adding that investigations will immediately commence into the incident. Police officers attached to the Betheltown police station recovered a number of spent shells from the scene. One senior cop from the parish of Westmoreland said that the police are now seeking two men, one of whom is a boyfriend of one of the homeless victims, for questioning. The investigator said that the boyfriend is a known violence producer, currently facing gun-related charges in the Betheltown policing area and is out on bail. Back-to-back murders rock Montego Bay. Detectives attached to the Freeport and Barnett Street police stations in Montego Bay, St. James, have launched probes into Friday morning's back-to-back daylight murders of two men in separate incidents in the second city. The victims have been identified as Honey Stevens, otherwise called Mignet, a juice vendor from Petersfield in Westmoreland, and 35-year-old Champagne McGrath Reed, a businessman of an iron show address in St. James. Reports are that about 8 a.m., Stevens was inside the Montego Bay Transport Center selling juice when he was approached by a man with whom he had an altercation. The man reportedly brandished a handgun and opened fire, hitting Stevens multiple times before fleeing on foot. While processing that scene, detectives were alerted to another shooting outside the Jamaica National Bank in Catherine Hall, where Reed was attacked. According to police reports, the businessman was seated inside his car outside the bank when a group of men drove onto the compound. The men alighted and opened fire at Reed's car, chasing him as he ran from the vehicle. Reed died on the spot. His licensed firearm, which he had with him, was not stolen. I just alighted from a taxi and was walking towards the bank to do some business when I hear the gunshots and see two men chasing the man who is now dead, an elderly eyewitness said. I'm a returning resident, and it comes as a shock to me to see people just taking other people's life like this, she continued. I had to run back towards the roadway and I nearly get hit by a car. But all I want to know is that I don't get caught up in this kind of thing. We have seen an increase in murders since the start of February, and so far the police have not come up with a motive for these two murders, an investigator said. The officer said over the past 18 days, at least 9 persons have been murdered in the parish of St. James, bringing the total to 39 since the start of the year. 3 wards at Trelawny childcare facility reported missing. The police have issued an Ananda alert for 3 wards at the Granville Child Care Facility in Trelawny who have been missing since Friday. They are Tishana Carr, Rokoya Duncans, and Onika Bryan, all age 15. Tishana is of dark complexion, slim build, and is about 5 feet 4 inches tall. Rokoya is of brown complexion, slim build, and is about 4 feet 8 inches tall. And Onika is of dark complexion, medium build, and about 5 feet 4 inches tall. Reports from the Falmouth police are that the 3 girls were last seen at the facility about 8:30 p.m. and left for St. James. At the time they went missing, Tishana was dressed in a red blouse and brown shorts. Rokoya was dressed in a red t-shirt and blue shorts, and Onika was dressed in a red t-shirt and red shorts. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Tishana Carr, Rokoya Duncans, and Onika Bryan is being asked to contact the Falmouth police at 876-954-3222, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Jamaica reports 94 new COVID-19 cases, 5 more deaths. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 94 new COVID-19 cases and 5 deaths on Saturday, February 19, bringing the infection total to 127,610 and total deaths to 2,784. The new cases comprise 50 females and 44 males, with ages ranging from 2 days to 95 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 24, St. James 18, St. Catherine 16, Westmoreland 11, Clarendon 5, Manchester 4, St. Anne 4, St. Elizabeth 4, Portland 3, Hanover 2, Trelawny 2, and St. Thomas 1. St. Mary was the only parish to record 0 cases. The deceased are an 85-year-old female from Hanover, a 95-year-old female, a 47-year-old female, and an 89-year-old male from St. Elizabeth, and an 83-year-old male from St. James. The deaths occurred between October 21 and February 2022. There were 263 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing total recoveries to 75,103. Currently, 199 people are hospitalized, 22 of which are severely ill, while 4 are critically ill and 46 are moderately ill. The Health Ministry reported an 8.5% positivity rate in the latest round of testing. JBN, we keep you informed. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.